After some tough matches in the first 2 weeks of Stage 2, the Dragons are in a position to make the stage playoffs. Although Shanghai needed a near-perfect run for that to happen, Florida looked to spoil those dreams. Strong play from Jin Hyuk Ding Yang again would bring the Dragons one step closer to their first stage playoff berth in franchise history. In what started pretty rough, the Dragons dominated in most facets of Lijiang Tower. Min Sung Diem Bei would bully the Mayhem in the first couple of fights of round 1, laying damage in the bunker composition on Bastion. Young Jim Ganzu No would be caught out of position twice during then to put the round 1 in Florida's favor. The next 2 rounds would be a complete roll for Shanghai, including a full hold in the very next phase. Ding laid down rocket after rocket as Farah, being incredibly patient for the most efficient barrage. What may have been one of the most exciting plays came from Gigadad Gamzu in the final round. Gamzu had proven to be one of the best Reinhardt players in the league, as the Dragons have a 13.7% increase in team fight wins when he uses an Earth Shatter. Gamzu would use his Earth Shatter in a complete 180 spin, taking a very impressive team fight with several stuns. The Dragons would win on Lijiang Tower on a final score of 2-1. Shanghai have struggled in assault maps this season, but Hanamura showed some improvements to that. Youngjin Jin opened on Doomfist and provided some impressive plays, including a knockoff of Junsu Chris Choi off the map to cap point A. Shanghai would cap B soon after, but Florida would roll to complete the map as well on their attack. It looked that the Dragons could full hold on Florida's first attack, but J-Mo Zephyr Ko would lay a beautiful bomb to eliminate 2 Dragon players. Simply having more than 2 minutes in the time bank, Florida would just snowball to take what they needed. Ding would have one of his lone tainted plays this series in overtime, using Barrage on a wooden pillar after Gamzu was caught in a Graviton Surge. The Florida Mayhem took Hanamura on a final score of 4-3. The score would say that this wasn't the Dragons' strongest map of the series, but it shouldn't devalue their strong performance. Ding and Diem both contained multi-kills in the first fight, and Shanghai easily moved to point B. Despite the Dragons having multiple 5v6 fights, as one player was moving the payload, they were able to cap B with 5:16 left on the clock, nobody contesting the point. Jungwoo Saya player Ha moved to McCree and gave Shanghai some trouble, holding them off for about 2 minutes of stalling. Strong pushes from Ding on Sombra gave the Dragons a full cap, giving them the confidence moving on to defense. The Dragons provided an excellent defense on point A, including an incredible EMP from Ding to completely wipe out Florida. This left a short time bank for the Mayhem to finish compared to Shanghai's push. Ding wasn't finished though, as 2 more EMPs would melt Florida in later team fights. The constant pressure of Ding and Diem would provide no mercy, as the Mayhem wouldn't even reach point B. The Dragons took Eichenwald on a final score of 3-1. As hinted earlier, Rialto could arguably be Shanghai's best map in this series. The Dragons constantly would combo Earth Shatters, EMPs, and Gravitons during this attack. Once they completed the map, Shanghai would end with the 4th fastest time on Rialto in league history. The Dragons' ultimate economy was excellent, gathering an excellent level of efficiency per ultimate used. Even in a moment where Shanghai used all 3 support ultimates in a single moment, the play worked to their advantage as they would cap the point. The Mayhem's final push of the series would give more credit to Shanghai than discrediting Florida. The Dragons would split in the high ground on Rialto, forcing Florida to choose a side and soon be melted after. Ding would continue to be the star, as his EMP saved 2 different fights where the advantage belonged to Florida. Shanghai would full hold the Mayhem to cap the must-needed win. Up to this series in Stage 2, Florida looked better with every match played. With Shanghai being in a win-or-miss stage playoff situation, the Mayhem had nothing to lose. Ding proved once again that he is the X factor on this roster, providing dominance on both Farah and Sombra. He provided 39 eliminations, 11 of those being from rocket barrages, and only 9 deaths, as Ding's efficiency is what could propel Shanghai into the playoffs. They'll need to win as many maps as they can against Houston and Washington, as San Francisco later this stage will be trouble for them. The Shanghai Dragons won against the Florida Mayhem on a final score of 3-1.